Hi guys, we've got Ventre from USA, from NASDAQ OMG. Matt is a product designer, and I would like to talk with Matt about the product lifecycle management and product design. Matt, you had workshops here in UX Poland 2014. Would you please elaborate a bit on the subject of the workshop?
Sure. So we did the product design lifecycle. So we started with a process that typically takes between 9 and 12 months in the real world, and we compressed it down into a single day workshop. Mm-hmm. And what that means is we started off with a vision and goal setting workshop, an hour. We went into design studio workshop, rapid iterative sketching. From that, we created paper prototypes. Mm-hmm. Then we validated those prototypes with usability testing within the groups. And then we wrapped up with a post-mortem and looked back upon our vision and goal statement to see if we had met those criteria that we set out. And the whole reason we wanted to bring this workshop to UX Poland is to highlight the complexity of dealing with organizations with many people. So product owners, executives, users, stakeholders, they all have a voice in the process. And I wanted to give everybody a chance to learn new techniques and understand the difficulty around that process. And it's something that we do at NASDAQ all the time, every day. So when you were at the workshop, for example, yep. All of those activities we did, I use those, at least one of those, every day of my working life. So for me, it was a way to expose our process and give people some new ideas and challenge them, because if we're not challenging ourselves and not challenging the business owners and the existing process, we're going to stagnate as designers.
What do you like the most in this process? Which tools do you use the most, in fact?
I use them all equally. That's kind of a cop-out answer, but yeah. The one I enjoy the most of all of them is Design Studio, so rapid iterative sketching. I find that...
Would you elaborate a bit on that?
Absolutely. And in fact, I've run workshops where that was what we did all day. So I could, each one of these steps, we could do a full day on just one of those. So I actually wish UX Poland was 2 weeks long, and I could do 5 workshops. Yeah.
Next year.
Next year maybe we'll do it 2 weeks. So Design Studio can actually take up to a full day. And I've done it with up to 50 people in one room. And it generates so much energy and so many ideas come out of Design Studio that...
How do you do it? What's the process for one day?
For one day, so you get all the stakeholders in the room. You get the owners of the company, you get the product owners, you get the designers, you get programmers, developers, people who have an interest in the outcome of the project. And you get them in the room, and you give them a persona, and you give them a problem to solve, and then you let them go on this process.
All of them in one group?
No, you have to split them up into many small groups.
Okay.
So collectively, throughout the day, all of these small groups are generating cycles of ideas over and over and critiquing
on the same problem.
And they put them all on the wall, sketch 5 minutes. So you were there when you saw the sketching. It's always very quick. We limit the time to encourage people to not overthink the problem. You have to keep it very simple. The less time you have, the more simple you have to be in your solution.
Yeah, that was surprised me most. We had 6 groups, as far as I remember, on the workshop yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and they had like 1 minute on the pitch and 2 minutes on critique.
Yeah.
So this was really rapid, really fast,
like
and
the
they just changed. Yeah, and then you changed the groups. That was really interesting.
Yes. Yeah, so out of this process, you get cross-pollination of ideas. So when one group pitches to another group, you start to see things that you hadn't thought of previously. Yeah. So when we did the workshop, for example, everybody was working on a different problem, but I really wanted people to borrow and steal other people's ideas, because that's what happens in the real world. When you're designing a product, you don't put up the blinders, you don't design
just
it.
Like Japanese did in 60s, they stole all
exactly.
the patents
Yeah.
from the States.
Yeah, and you have to, in order to succeed. You have to be able to borrow and get ideas from other people. So that's what we try to simulate, that effect of collaborative idea sharing in the workshop. And that's why I love it the most, because there's so much energy and it's exciting when people, they come out of their shell, right? Most people say, I'm not an artist, I can't draw. But after that, they're convinced, I can draw, I'll sketch all day long. And that's some of the most encouraging things you could see as a workshop.
Would you please tell me at the end what kind of products you work with, what kind of product you design?
So at NASDAQ, I'm in the corporate solutions side of the business. NASDAQ is known for their stock markets and currency exchanges throughout the world, but they also have this other side of the business where they create products for businesses to support their business activities. So distributing press releases, marketing campaigns, investor relations, generating capital, and they sell software that supports all these activities. So those are the products that I'm currently involved in at NASDAQ. And a lot of these things are things that NASDAQ has acquired over the years. So they're not necessarily homegrown, they're bought, and the technology has been purchased. And they have such a wide array of applications that now they've asked us to say, like, these are all very different experiences. And our customers are asking for one cohesive experience and a well-branded experience. So they tasked us with taking all these sort of old systems, modernizing them, reestablishing an understanding with the audience and the business, and creating a fully integrated solution across all the products. So it's not just one product anymore. It's all these put together into this huge platform. So it's creating a platform out of these formerly...
As a customer, I can just call you and ask you for support in developing totally new product that I would need to support my business, and there's a group of designers and developers to do so.
So yes and no. So part of that.
I prefer yes.
Yeah, of course. NASDAQ's really progressive, and the reason that they've acquired so many of these products is that they've seen a need in the industry for this stuff. So if they identify an audience in a business opportunity, for example, what you just said, like, we would definitely go and figure out how to either acquire a company or a product or build it from the ground up. And now that we've established such a big team,
so if there's a business case,
that can be pitched.
So at the end of our short conversation, I've got a little gift for you.
All right.
I get something because I had a pleasure to participate in your workshop. I really liked it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I really like the energy and the rapid changes that you had to control. So to help you control your workshops better, more, I got a little surprise for you. Maybe you will use it next time.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it works.
Perfect.
I mean, it will stop the exercise and stop the workshop for a moment, because otherwise people, they are so engaged in what Matt does with them that they just forget about listening. So they just do things, and
this is perfect.
So this is a showstopper for a moment to give another.
Thank you so much.
Comments. So thank you very much.
I appreciate it. This is amazing. I'm going to use this.
Thank you for a good interview.
It's the Bart horn.
Thank you for a good interview and great workshop today.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.